Hi, I'm Antonio Mora. The first Common App cycle since news of the college admissions scandal broke began this month, and concerns over the fairness of the selection process are weighing on everyone involved. It's important to understand that what the FBI uncovered in its Operation Varsity Blues is only the tip of the iceberg. A couple of years ago, I got a call from the teacher of a college prep course my son was taking. She said he was doing great on the ACT, getting virtually everything right, just not in the time allotted. She then mentioned something other parents were doing. It would have involved getting a psychologist to diagnose him with a fake learning disability so he could request extended time on the ACT. Apparently, it's a scam that many parents take advantage of because nobody finds out. The psychologist's records are confidential, and to protect students with real disabilities, colleges aren't flagged when a kid has had extra time. I was flabbergasted that well-to-do parents would go to such an extreme to game the system and give their kids a leg up. But, incredibly, abusing these disability accommodations is quite common, especially at affluent schools. At Newton North High School in a well-to-do Boston suburb, about 1 in 3 kids reportedly claim a disability to get extra time on the college admissions tests. Weston High School in Connecticut is located in one of the wealthier communities in the country. 1 in 4 kids get special allowances on the college tests there. It's also about 1 in 4 at New Trier, one of the top public schools in the country, located in an upscale Chicago suburb. To show how absurd this is, only about 4 to 5% of students across the country get extra time. So this means that students at great high schools in rich neighborhoods, many of whom end up at the country's most prestigious colleges, somehow have disabilities at a rate that is 5 to 8 times higher than the rest of the country. Give me a break. Obviously, I'm naive to be shocked at parental conniving. If you think the extra time cheating is outrageous, we just heard about another scam. ProPublica found that over the past year and a half, dozens of families in wealthy Chicago suburbs have exploited a legal loophole, giving up guardianship of their children so they can declare themselves independent of their well-off families and qualify for financial aid. The result is that high-income families make their kids seem like they're low income, allowing them to take opportunities away from kids who are much more in need. Of course, these scams pale in comparison to the hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes some parents paid in the admissions scandal, but it's more of the same. Entitled behavior by affluent parents for whom it's not enough that their kids already have huge advantages that include going to better high schools and having the financial wherewithal to pay for prep courses, trips to colleges to show interest, and professional college counselors. All this fraudulent manipulation of the system aggravates a problem inherent to the U.S. education system that undermines its aspirations to be a true meritocracy. About 70% of students in the country's most selective colleges come from families in the top socioeconomic quartile. In 1985, less than half did. Any fair assessment of this would recognize that it's a problem to limit opportunities for socioeconomic reasons. But achieving socioeconomic diversity among American undergraduates is a challenge that can't be solved at the college level alone. As is often the case, the path to hell is paved with good intentions, and some of the solutions suggested by educators could be overreactions that will have unintended negative consequences. The College Board, which administers the SAT, has come up with what it calls an adversity score, a measure of the disadvantages a student has faced in life. The hue and cry about the unfairness of this was loud, not just from conservatives. Imagine the ways parents will try to game the system to make their kids look more disadvantaged. Some colleges, including the University of Chicago, will no longer make the SAT or ACT mandatory for admission. It's possible they'll come up with other ways to find students who can do the rigorous work required there, but a lack of any standardized measurement will make that more difficult. And won't taking the tests out of the equation create a different kind of unfairness? Won't it punish kids whose test scores indicate that they are highly qualified? Another proposed solution is to eliminate preferences to legacies. That sounds great until you think about what could happen to college endowments. Alumni might be less generous with their contributions if they know their largesse won't benefit their kids. Remember, those donations are the backbone of college endowments that have allowed Ivy League colleges to cover the tuition of any student whose family income falls beneath the U.S. median. Something needs to be done. Socioeconomic mobility is part of the American dream, and education is key to advancement. As socioeconomic diversity in college has decreased, so has upward mobility, and the U.S. has fallen behind many comparable countries. If today's elites unfairly game the system to give their kids even more advantages, that will further deflate upward mobility. America won't be the land of opportunity if it ceases to be a meritocracy.